Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at HEX, which is the first certificate of deposit blockchain anywhere in crypto. This is something that the banks have been doing for years. However, HEX promises to deliver significantly higher returns than you'll ever get by using a bank with all of the security that you expect to have. Obviously, nothing I say on this video is financial advice, so always go away and do your own research before investing any of your own money. Without further ado, let's jump into today's content. Okay guys, so jumping across to hex.com, as always, link down below in the description if you want to go and check it out after this video. HEX stakes average 38% returns a year, which is absolutely insane, guys. If you've been keeping money in a bank, now obviously it depends on which country you're in, you're looking at perhaps less than 0.5%, possibly getting even worse. And obviously because you've got inflation, then that means that the money you're holding in a bank, despite the interest, is not actually making money, but in fact losing money. So HEX is the first blockchain certificate of deposit. High returns, no minimum, and decentralized design. 484,000 or just over 484,000 wallets so far already owned on HEX and continuing to grow all the time. And so far the HEX price is up 9,481 times in just under 2 years. So what is HEX all about? Let's take a look at everything about HEX in this video. So, okay guys, so it's all about investing money, and traditionally the banking systems have worked quite well over a period of time. However, more recently, obviously with other problems in the world such as coronavirus, overinflation, loads of other things, it's made the financial system hugely problematic. But it's the average person who's been using banking systems, etc., who's been paying the price for that. So HEX is all about trying to level the playing field and give back to the people who are using the services that they're getting, rather than losing money into banks, etc., while the bankers are still receiving their big bonuses. The future of investing is here. Certificates of deposit, or CDs, are common investment tools managed by banks. Hundreds of millions of people use them worldwide, creating a market valued in the trillions of dollars. However, HEX has taken the concept of CDs, added significantly higher average rates of return, removed banking fees, and turned them into a decentralized cryptocurrency, which is obviously very exciting. You can stake HEX by locking it up for a period of time. Obviously, the longer you leave it in, the potential better returns you're going to get. So you could stake it from 1 day to perhaps 5,555 days. Not really sure how much that time is in years, but obviously quite a long time. And depending on the length of stake, you're going to get potentially better APYs. Now, the APY for stakes has an average of 40%, while traditional banks or CDs average less than 2%. In addition to the unprecedented yields, there are also high tendencies of the HEX price to appreciate. Now, obviously you've seen the HEX price appreciate 9,800 times over the last couple of years. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to continue forever. Who knows exactly what's going to happen? But when it comes to crypto, if you believe that the overall trajectory is up, which I do because more and more people are getting involved in cryptocurrency, more money coming into the markets. Yes, we see fluctuations happening on a daily basis, when we see pumps and then dumps, etc. If the overall trajectory is up and you're looking for longer term gains in crypto, which is probably the more sensible option rather than trying to make money on a shorter term basis, then you can see why staking with high APY in a coin that's likely to continue to appreciate, in my opinion, not financial advice, then you can see how we can get rewarded through this. HEX has no central entity, no bureaucracy, and no overheads. There are no bonuses awarded to anyone outside of the users who stake HEX as a simple to use high yield investment tool. HEX makes you the bank. As you know, banks make lots of money, bankers make a lot of money, but that money is money that really could be shared with everyone who's investing the money, because after all, you are the one who's giving your money to the bank in order for them to make the huge returns, but they're not really sharing any of those rewards with you. So effectively you're lending someone money for them to go and make bets, and effectively you're taking all the risk, but you never get to see any of the upside, which is obviously crazy. Here you can see there's very quick explanations of HEX, but you can come across the website and check those out if you want. Here are some of the statistics here for the HEX price. Well, it's gone up already 9,000 times already, which we've already talked about. Currently the price is sat at 6 cents, guys, which is extremely low with a market cap of 35 billion. 35 billion is reasonably big, but there's obviously great potential for growth, especially if the crypto market starts to boom again. Currently ranked at number 13. Now, when I look at cryptocurrencies, particularly at the bottom of bear markets, which I feel like we're at right now, then the best returns are not going to come from like Bitcoin and Ethereum. You don't really necessarily want to be going for the smallest market cap coins, because when the markets are low, there's a high chance of those coins going under first. But actually, they're kind of like the blue chip coins that sit in the sort of top 50 or so, but not necessarily the top 10. This is where I see the best returns coming once the market starts to move again, because the smaller market caps are much easier to build on. $35 billion to see a 10% increase is $3.5 billion. But in something like Bitcoin with a $350 to $400 billion market cap, to see a 10% return, it needs $35 or $40 billion to be added to see the same growth. You can see down below the average stake is 6.6 years. People have a lot of interest in this project, and remember, the average stake earns 40% per year, but 40% per year compounds each time. So if you're making 40% now, then next year you'll make 40% of the money you had originally plus the 40% you already made. So for example, if you had $100 in and you made 40%, you would have $140 the next year. You would then make 40% of $140, not just the $100. So it's going to compound up very, very quickly, especially over 6.6 years. It's pretty cool. And if you consider that the HEX price could well be increasing. Here you can see the price over time has gone all the way up, started to dip towards the downside, but starting to rebuild again, looking quite interesting in my opinion. And you can see that buying $105 worth of HEX on the 5th of January 2020 would have made you a millionaire already, which is very exciting, obviously. Get started in only 4 steps. Literally just need to get yourself a MetaMask, which you can get through the Google Chrome store. If you don't know how to do that, there's plenty of videos available on YouTube. Very straightforward, will literally take you 2 minutes. You can then buy Ethereum, swap it for HEX, and then you can stake it. All very straightforward. Now, we already did understand a little bit about why HEX is so special, but it's basically all about removing the middleman, giving the power back to the people, which is something that I love crypto for, because obviously there's a lot of people in the world who don't really know that much about finance and don't have the opportunity to understand it. But I believe everyone has the right to be able to benefit from having money and saving their money that they've worked so hard for, rather than just the big banks and institutions taking all of the benefits. You can see that HEX inflation is capped at 3.69%, bearing in mind the UK had inflation something like 15% last year, and who knows exactly how much the US inflated the dollar by last year, but I can imagine it was a lot. HEX pays 38% on average APY. You could obviously earn more than that if you're prepared to stake your HEX for longer, but that's up to you, obviously. Shows down below all of the different HEX ads going around. HEX is obviously a growing community and has loads of other stuff going on. Here are some associated community-made sites. There's lots of very passionate people who are joining the HEX community because of the value that it adds to the average person's life. Coming down below, guys, you can see testimonials from various different big names in the crypto game, talking about HEX and all of the benefits that HEX comes with. All you got to do is click on each of them, and then it's going to give you a little video testimonial about them. And you can continue to do this. There's tons and tons of them if you want to find out more. So I want you to think about why HEX might be different from Bitcoin. Bitcoin obviously has the power to appreciate, is completely decentralized. HEX is similar to that, but unlike Bitcoin, HEX also has the ability to earn you an annual percentage yield of on average 38%, like I've already said, where if you're holding Bitcoin, obviously the Bitcoin that you hold can appreciate in value. So for example, if I own 1 Bitcoin, it can appreciate in value from its current price, which is something like $24,000 at the time of making this video. It could go up to, let's say, $100,000. Yes, then I make a lot of money, but I still hold 1 Bitcoin, so that Bitcoin can fluctuate. But by holding HEX, at the moment, yeah, it's worth 6 cents. In a few years, I could be owning multiple HEX because the amount of HEX I hold increases too, and perhaps it goes up from 6 cents to, let's say, $6, which is an increase of 100x. Not only now do I own multiple more HEXs, but those HEX are worth more money. I hope that makes sense. So if you're anticipating that crypto is going to increase into the future, then holding HEX against Bitcoin is a bit of a no-brainer in my own opinion. And here you can see a whole load of information on why HEX is better. And I didn't even talk about the inflation rate. Now, technically, Bitcoin is non-inflationary in that there is only ever going to be a certain amount of Bitcoin available, but because mining is still occurring, there is still more Bitcoin being produced, and there will continue to be Bitcoin produced until like 2140 or something, which is obviously a long time away, but it will still continue to inflate at a high rate. Now, HEX inflates at a significantly lower rate than Bitcoin on current levels. Obviously, Bitcoin rate of inflation will continue to decrease every 4 years with various halvings. You don't need to do things like mining, which is obviously very expensive within Bitcoin and actually ultimately not very good for the environment. But HEX, you just need to stake instead of mining. So much easier to do, so much cheaper, and so much better for the environment effectively. Down below, there's loads of other stuff. You can see all of these different benefits. I'm not going to go through all of these different benefits, guys, because there's tons and tons, and that would make the video too long. You can just come across the link down below in the description and find out more about why holding HEX is probably better than holding Bitcoin. So guys, if I haven't answered any of your questions, you can come across and check out the FAQ. Tons of stuff about HEX down here, all the stuff about staking, and anything else that you don't understand. You can come across and check it out. Now, coming over to the HEX Twitter, guys, you can see community is 78,000 people, which doesn't seem overly massive, but it's a very well established cryptocurrency with a really passionate community. And I really like basically how it all works. The founder, Richard Hart, has done a lot for developing a system that's going to help the average person with their finances. Also has donated a huge amount of money to charities. You can go and find out more about him, Richard Hart. You can see follows HEX, and there's lots of information from here. Coming down through, there's loads of other information available on their platform about all of the different things that's going on with HEX. It's a huge cryptocurrency available on tons of different exchanges. If you want to go and buy it, then go through the link down below in the description to check out more about HEX. So in summary, guys, HEX is a far better investment, in my opinion, than Bitcoin, because it offers an additional APY that you can earn and increase your holding of the cryptocurrency rather than just holding an amount of Bitcoin and hoping that the price is going to go up over time. HEX is less inflationary. You only need to do staking. There's no expensive costs of doing things like mining and plenty of other amazing reasons. If you want to find out more, then make sure you go through the link down below in the description. If you've got this far through the video, then I take it that you've enjoyed today's content. So please smash the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps us out the channel more than you know. And if you are new and you want to learn more about Bitcoin, crypto, Web3, NFTs, and much, much more, then make sure you subscribe to the channel down below in order to be kept up to date with all the latest happening. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye-bye.